Merry Christmas, everybody. Hi, everybody. How you doing tonight? I'm just feeling luscious with my luscious locks tonight. Yeah, it is. Well, I'm vaping on a couple things tonight. First up, I'm vaping on. I vape on Purge oh, quite often, and this is one of my main vapes constantly. Suicide King with a Axial, everything black and gold, always black and gold, with a point oh 0.08 Alien, the classic Aliens from Raps in here, and I'm pretty sure this is a just a drip tip on here. Pretty sure. And in there, I have, of course, some Bottle Violence vanilla custard. All this is all I vape ever since I started testing it. I don't vape anything else at all. I just vape Bottle Violence. Next up, I have another Purge. I have my Slim Piece with the Dang RDA on top and another Just a Tip drip tip. This also has some wraps coils in here. They're point oh 0.08 Flat Baby Aliens. They're flattened aliens. They vape really, really good. Really good. And there I have, of course, some more Bottled Violence, the caramel in there, because it's just it's a nice break from the vanilla, the caramel. But I mean, I'm not sure which one I like better. In all honesty, I'm really not, because they're both so goddamn good.
I get that completely. Well, so tonight I have a couple different setups. Like usual, I have the Atom with the Dang on top. Inside of the Dang, I have good old boy Ben. Such a good pup. Good old guava lemonade. It's just always a good flavor. It's refreshing. Then the next one I have is another grip. On top of the grip, we have the Immortal Resurgence. And then with the inside of the Resurgence, I mean, if you have Ben, you have to have Benthol inside of it. And then on the other one, we have one last grip and a standard Apocalypse on top. And then inside of there is the newest member to the Pack Leader line, which is our new line that we're coming out with, is Mika. And Mika is a vanilla peppermint. Mika will be officially live on the site in 24 hours for people to purchase. So, and then I have one last one, but it's a new flavor that we're not mentioning to anybody about what it is yet. So, be prepared. So, Dad, go ahead and give us a heads up. Start talking to us about your shop. Let us know what made you want to start vaping, and then let alone open your own shop.
Well, I started vaping probably about, yeah, it was a little over 6 years ago. I smoked for, my God, since I was 13 years old, and I'm 44 now. So I smoked for, it was like 20, it was at least 25 years, something like that. And I actually got introduced to it through multiple different people, multiple close friends. The first friends were my friends from Toronto, Ohio, the Trosky twins. I went down to his shop because he started a clothing line called American Hooligan, and I just went down to pick up a couple hoodies and shirts and whatnot, just to rep because American Hooligan, it rules. And he had this ego, and it was just huge. We stepped outside to smoke a cigarette, and he broke that thing out. I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?" I was like, "Why you got a goddamn mess on your hand? Like, what the fuck is going on here?" And he explained it to me, and I was like, "Okay, okay, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. If it works, it works." And then another group of friends, Nina and Zero, they were trying to switch, and they had me try. They were buying views at that time, and
Okay.
also my boss at Domino's, Sam, he started using blues, and he wanted me to switch. So I tried them both, and when I tried them both for the first time, I just fucking coughed like a bitch. I mean, I
So,
did. Majority of people do, but and after that, I just really figured, let's give this a shot, and I ordered an ego from this place called Northwest Tobacco, and I started with a 24 milligram nicotine, and it worked. It like for the first month, I bounced back and forth a little bit, but on October 25th, I decided when I woke up just to see how long I could go, and I never looked back. Never looked back. And after that, I just absolutely fell in love with vaping. Just fell in love with everything it was, everything it stood for, everything that it can do. And I just fell in love with that. And then next thing you know, I had a joy. And I had a K fun on there. And that was my setup. Loved it. And from there, I tried boxes, and I just couldn't get the feel for boxes. But mechs, that Joytech Evic, I just love that feel in my hand, and just fell in love with mechs from there on out.
would now I know how when we usually do the recommendations for the fact that we would put people on just a basic sub first and let them get to know each other. Your hair is very luscious today, by the way.
So luscious.
We need to get you, just for men, get you to dye your beard a little black there.
Oh, so
Okay, so Kelly is at home, like I said, with the kids. She's actually playing this for the kids, so we have to keep it PG.
I'm sorry.
Just as a heads up now. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the echo right now, guys. People keep telling me about it. I'm not sure. Do you have your YouTube still open, Will?
No. I'll look and make sure. Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the audio right now. But so how do you work somebody up to being in a mech? To be completely honest, like what would be the definition of you saying, okay, this person is actually ready now to be in a mech, or not in a mech, but to have a mech?
Well, it's a mech it's not like owning a box. It's you got to have a love for mechs. You got to. I mean, and to get into mechs, usually I tell people if you want to get into a mech, you need to get into something that's got a 510 pin first and foremost. And there are some mechs out there that still have a 510 pin, like I'm trying to think of one right off the top of my head, but I can't. I'm sorry, it's been a long day, but there are some mechs out there that do have 510s, and I try to push them more towards that first, just to get a feel for it, and then after that, then explain to them how the hybrids work, and that you can't just use a regular tank on it. It has to have a nice protruding 510 pin on it to make contact with that battery.
So just in case somebody doesn't know what you're talking about, can you describe what a hybrid is versus
Okay.
because you keep talking the 510, everybody should pretty much know about that in the vaping world, but some people don't understand hybrid versus standard or versus with 510.
Okay, so a 510 pin inside your device, when you look down where you screw your tank down onto, normally there's a pin there. Hold on, let's
Right.
just do this way they can get a better idea. Let's show them. Normally there's a pin down in the center of this right here, and that makes the connection from your RDA to your device for the positive, and then the negative is obviously the screw through the
So
threads.
the pin that he's talking about, I don't know if y'all can see it. It's the little brass pin inside of there.
That's a 510 pin. Now, with the hybrid, there is no pin. Let me just go ahead and take this battery out. That way you can actually see through it. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, there's no pin in there. You can see right through there. So you have to make sure that your atomizer, your 510 pin on your atomizer is very, very protruding. That way it's making contact with your battery and your threads are only making contact with your device. Because if the threads make contact with the battery, then you're going to have a dead short, and nobody wants that. That's just bad news altogether. That's why you should never wrench your battery, or wrench your RDA down. Always put your RDA on first before you insert your battery. Always positive up. Positive up.
And the other thing you need to be careful of is if you do put the battery in first, which you shouldn't, and then you wrench down the RDA, you actually can and will eventually cause damage to the top of your battery.
Always make sure that your batteries are nice and clean and void of any tears also, and dents.
Yeah.
And whenever you tighten down, always just tighten until it stops. Don't wrench.
Yeah. You don't have to force it on there. Nothing's gonna leak out. Nothing's bad's gonna happen if just make sure it's just snug, hand tight. That's it.
You're good to go. Good to go.
So, how was your Christmas?
It was good. It was good. I actually spent a majority of it at the shop doing inventory because,
Sweet. So I don't have to now.
yeah, well, no, there's still other stuff to do.
I hate you.
But you got the easy stuff because I did the liquid.
The coils are not easy.
What are you talking about? You only have to count by the boxes. You don't have to count by the coils.
True.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than you think.
Yeah. See, we used to do it at our shop by the coil.
Yeah. We sell by the box.
Can you do the blue?
Hmm?
What is it? It's not the blue. Blue. The stair.
What are you talking about?
From what was that movie? Crap. Any of y'all can help me out? Mike, you're on here. What's that stare that Dad does every once in a while?
Oh, it is shed time change. Frames Janklin. It is. Oh my God. Oh,
Where's Mika? That's a good question, Kelly.
Oh, Mika. Oh,
Yeah. So with Mika, so with rescued, all the dogs that are on the bottles are actually rescued dogs, except for Vulcan. Vulcan's the only one that's not. Vulcan is the son to Mika. So we decided we wanted to do a line that honors people in the industry, people, friends, anybody who has significance to us. And so with that line, we're calling it Pack Leader. And so these dogs, they might be a rescue, they might not be a rescue. It's just that there's somebody in the industry that has done something for us, or somebody very close to the industry that has either helped, been a mentor, anything like that, honestly. And so, like I said, that's how we came up with Pack Leader. And that's why we did Mika first, because Mika is Vulcan's mom. Will is pretty much been like a dad to us. So we wanted to say thank you, and the best way we knew how to was to honor the dog. There she is.
Lusciously. There she is.
Blue Steel, that's what it was. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, this is.
Might have to angle it down a little bit. No, not that dog. That dog's evil.
That's little girl. Come here, Mika. Here, you take this. You go. Okay, you go. Fuck off.
Okay, little girl, she's only dog I've ever really dealt with that absolutely hates me. Dogs love me. Not that one.
There she is.
See, look how beautiful she is. Hey, can you get her to look at the camera so they can see her eyes?
All right.
Mika, hi baby. She has such beautiful eyes. Now, what is Mika? Mika, I know she's husky, but is she full husky or part husky? I don't remember.
She's full husky. She is a Alaskan husky.
Okay.
And in the winter, she just bulks up. It's hilarious. She gets like super fat and super fluffy. Super fluffy. Oh my God. And boy, does it suck in the springtime because I am just covered in dog hair. Just coated in it. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So the father to Vulcan was a German Shepherd. Was he a full German Shepherd? Do you know? Wasn't he like a neighbor's dog?
I have no idea. In all honesty, he was just a dog in the neighborhood. He just wandered up from somewhere because
Gotcha.
where I used to live was so luscious. I used to live right outside. I used to live dead center of Steubenville, Mingo, and Wintersville, literally. Like I had a Wintersville address. My neighbor on one side of me had a Steubenville address, and the neighbor on the other side of me had a Mingo address. It was fucking crazy. But it was kind of in the woods a little bit because it was back behind the city, and dogs were let wander around even though there are leash laws because people are dumb, and that's how animals end up getting hurt and getting killed, unfortunately. So leash laws, people, obey them, please. That's how you save your dog's lives.
Exactly. You save the dog's lives, and on top of that, you know where the dog is.
Yeah. But I woke up one morning to get ready for work, and I put Mika out, and she was in heat. And it wasn't even 30 seconds. I turned around to the fridge to grab something to drink, and I just heard her yell. I'd run out, and a German Shepherd straight tied up with her. And I had no idea what to do because I've never had a dog that got mounted before and got tied up. So I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then I finally found out that you have to just calm them down and just let them do their thing. And naturally the swelling will go down and they'll just pop out.
Yeah. One of the things that a lot of people think is that they could just pull the dogs apart. And in the process of doing that will really, really hurt the female.
Yeah, that's a really, really bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk more about your Christmas.
But I didn't really do much. I went over to Barry's. I had some kick-ass lasagna. We had some really good shed time. Oh my God, I tooted.
You queef?
I tooted a little bit, just a little bit. Oh my God, I tooted again. Oh my God. Oh, it smells like roses. Oh. smells so good. Oh my God. Oh, it smells luscious. Doesn't it, Mika?
So
Oh,
I hear that I don't know if you're ready to announce, but or the other flavor you're working on.
yes, actually, I am working on another flavor. I'm actually vaping on it right now. It needs a little bit of twerking, but pretty damn good.
Is
Very.
there an ETA when you think it might be available?
Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Um, I'm not sure because I want to do a revision of it because I think there's a little too much of something in there. I don't want to give too much away. I gotta, oh,
Okay, flip that hair.
I gotta flip it. I gotta flip it. Oh, but it's. I mean, I like this one now, but I feel like
It could be improved.
it can be a little bit better.
I get that. And I mean, you've been through the trial process with me when we went to the lab. And I mean, Ben,
Oh my God.
that was
Trips to Philly. I think it was what, three?
no total was I don't know if you can. No, you won't be able to see it. But total, there was 37 different revisions.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I mean, you made three trips because the third trip
Yeah,
you spent like 4 days up there, something like that.
it was two
I
days.
went up the first trip with you.
Yeah, yeah, but it's crazy. Like the amount of work that goes into creating a flavor, to let alone for it to be something that's gentle on the coils, still has all the right uh, bouquets of flavors and smells that you want.
Hmm.
It's most of the time it's a pain in the ass, honestly.
It is because I mean, whenever you want those subtle nuances of a flavor to come out, and it's your juice, you're fucking picky about it.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to be because it, in all honesty, when I created Bottled Violence, I was just like you when you created Rescue. I did not expect it to do as well as it does at
Yeah,
all. And in all honesty, when I created it, I made it for me because I wanted that custard that was just everything right there in one bottle because it just drove me crazy with all of them because like one was a little bit too eggy, one was right boldness, one had the right amount of vanilla, one had the right amount of sweetness, one had that right amount of cream and fluff to it, and I just had to bounce around. It drove me nuts, and this just does it, man. It doesn't.
N-
It.
did you ever try mixing, let's say, killer custard vanilla with like grime or something like that to try and figure out like the best vanilla you've ever made or anything like that?
I have gone and mixed like a couple different things together, but hitting that same consistency every time to get that right flavor was annoying.
Yeah, I agree completely because that's how we did the with Ben. Like I didn't ask anybody's opinion.
Right.
Ben was made specifically for my palate for me because
Yeah.
it's like I mean, yeah, the way I looked at it was I love it. If nobody else does, I have a couple hundred bottles of it.
A majority of people who make liquid, the good liquids, these people, and they make them for themselves
Yeah,
because they know that they're going to be vaping it all day, and it's things that they love to vape, and that just more people can get behind that because if you can actually rep your product and use it, more people are going to be like, wow, it must be pretty good if he can actually do it all day.
yeah, and
I,
then
I
let alone not just all day, but for weeks at a time or days at a time.
Yeah, or months at a time.
Next month will be a year.
Like 6 months.
And that's one of the things that I love because it's like it gives you a satisfaction. So for Rescued, it's cool because it's like, yeah, we're helping the dogs. That's awesome. Huge dog lovers if you didn't
Yeah.
know. But the fact that people are like, Ben really helped us get off of cigarettes, or or Vulcan, he took over all the worries that we were had from smoking a cigarette because we found that flavor that we're hooked to. And I think one of the nicest messages I received recently was somebody messaged us on Instagram and said, we were vaping on a bottle of Ben, and we thought about him. We never got to meet him, but he's in our hearts, and we're thinking about him. And even to this day, he's still saving lives. And it's like, yes, it's sad that he passed, but at the same time, it's something that happens. It's life.
Yeah, it
But
is.
he's still around doing what he did originally, helping people, taking care of them, saving them, everything.
Smiles on people's faces.
Yep,
'Cause
always.
he's a good boy.
He's a really good boy.
He's a really good boy.
Really, really good boy.
Really good boy.
Not like her.
Good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's so good.
Slightly creepy.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
With now, is there a certain amount of bottles that you're gonna create? Are you gonna do, say, 3 flavors and bottle violence is done? Or is it something that you're gonna leave kind of like how we did as an open-ended project?
Um, I think this third one, I'm just gonna call it done. I have a thing with threes, and I usually can't get past it. So I'm gonna be smart and cut it after that.
Okay,
Because anything after three with me is a fucking disaster, man. It's a total fucking shit show.
it's true.
Ask any woman that ever dated me besides the one that I'm currently engaged to. Well, no, you can ask her too.
She's a pretty amazing lady, especially to put up with you.
Oh my God, the things that she puts up with, but oh my God, she is such an amazing woman. Such an amazing woman. Oh, I miss her so much.
Any timeline on when she might be coming back in town to visit?
Um, I'm hoping maybe in February or March, maybe. It,
Nice.
it depends on when she gets time off again. Because she advocates for children down in Florida in Fort Lauderdale, and that's a constant job. It's a constant job.
Yeah. That's cool.
And
So she's saving kids' lives, helping them get into better situations,
yeah,
and you're doing it for adults.
yeah,
Kind of like y'all are made for each other.
we're so made for each other. It's fucking stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh my God. I mean, we made it past the 10-year mark pretty much, so it's a done deal.
Now you just gotta get the ring on it.
I mean, she's got it. It's just come back, marry me, God damn it.
I wonder if that's ever worked for anybody.
I don't know if she'll really like my luscious locks right now. I think she'll want it back to my regular hair. It might be too luscious for her.
She might just whip that nappy wig off your head.
Well, she might. She might be like, motherfucker, wow. I better watch out. I might get hit with a shoe from Florida.
Incoming. Now, now I heard that, or I guess actually the correct question is there anything that people that are patrons of your shop, is there anything they should be expecting in the next couple of weeks of new products or something changing?
Actually, we're a lot of people who've been coming to the shop notice that we've been letting some old liquid go, and that's because we're starting to make space for some new liquid. We actually have some new stuff coming in right now. We got the Nom lines and the Nom X2 line coming in to check out.
It's a solid line.
It is from what I've been hearing. We're just going to do like a little test launch, see how it does.
Have
And
you ever got a chance to vape any of it?
I'm not one for the fruits and things like that. Like I'll try them, but it's not my thing, man. I'm a custard man through and through. I like that sweet cream in my mouth, all up in my mouth hole.
Running down the side.
Oh, sweet cream in my mouth hole. Oh my god, it's so luscious. Oh my god. Oh, woo!
Would do you want me to bring them up for you to try?
Yeah, bring them over. I'll check them out. Why not? Fuck it.
Yep, because I still have my testers from our shop with them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because after we're done, party over here, party over here, party,
Party at Dad's house.
party.
I'm impressed with how quiet all the animals are being tonight. With your two, R5. I mean,
Yeah, especially Lil Gur.
right,
Lil Gur's pretty.
little
It's
bitch.
amazing because Mika is a full blood husky, and Lil Gur is a Goberian retriever. And for those of you who don't know what a Goberian retriever is, it's a golden retriever bred with a Siberian husky. And she is the mouthy one. She just don't shut up. It's hilarious. And she's got to be the center of attention always. It's hilarious. But she's Lil Gur, Spunky Brewster.
Yep. And an evil dog.
Great girl. She's a great girl.
One day she'll like me.
You have no soul.
Hey, you know what? That's never mattered to any of the other dogs.
I mean, she's just like soulless. No, you have no soul. So precious.
So, do you have any questions for me? Has anybody asked you any questions about Rescued at the shop that you've ever kind of wondered that you've never asked me? That sounded wet. Might need to check yourself.
I might have to. That one sounded a little wet. But actually, yeah. So, what made you want to do rescue?
So, with the shop, we were giving 15% back to the Humane Society. And any working at a vape shop is the best and the worst of worlds. I found out. Best of worlds because, I mean, the people you can help is amazing. The flavors, everything like that, the samples, the constant change of liquids coming in. I mean, it's great. But at the same time, working at a vape shop sucks because you turn around and you look at your shelf and it's like, I vaped all this and nothing makes me happy anymore.
Okay, I can see that. Getting burnt out on the flavors. Yeah, I can see that.
And it's not even the fact that you have to vape them. It's the smelling the same liquid. It's the, when you show a person how to do a knuckle test and then you do the knuckle test with them, it's like, I have vape tongue from that flavor and I've never vaped it. And with Ben, it was literally all guerrilla warfare's fault. Like it's kind of like how with you, the mean old dog name came around. They had no idea that they gave me the idea for Ben. but I was hooked on the 556. It's
Yeah.
and guava and the sweet blue agave are different, but it put the thought into my head. And then when they released from the Corso Blue line the pink lemonade,
Oh my God. When we went to fucking Cleveland and I introduced you to, well, I didn't quite introduce you. I met up with Ryan before you got there and was like, look, there's this big ginger fucking ogre looking motherfucker wandering around here. And
Mongo.
he loves your juice. Yes, Mongo cheese dip. But he loves 556. He loves it so much that he drinks it. He probably fucking mainlines it. When he comes to my shop, he buys at least 3 bottles at a time. So when he comes, just heads up, he's going to want a couple bottles.
Oh yeah.
And he introduced you to that pink lemonade. I have never seen somebody go through a 120. You got that stuff at probably like, I want to say maybe 4 o'clock that day.
About that 3-4 o'clock.
And you had it gone by 4 o'clock a.m.
I still had a little bit left when we went back to the show, like enough for a tank.
You had enough just to show him, hey, this is what I got down to at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, how, like, did you just like dump it on just like, oh.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but I have issues with sleeping. And so it was a strange place. I have issues with sleepwalking really, really bad. And so Kelly passed out, and I couldn't fall asleep because we were in a hotel, and we didn't really stay in the best area because I'd never been there before, and I'm cheap as fuck. So, yeah, I am.
Hence the fucking breakfast in DC. Woo! Trap house, trap life. Trap life.
So I was up all night and I was vaping, dude. Like that was the only pink lemonade that I've had that, yes, it was hard on coils, but nowhere near as hard as other people, but the sweetness was still there.
Yeah.
I mean, and so with me thinking about the two flavors, like I literally accidentally mixed them one day in a tank, and I was like, not bad. And so then came the trial process. I mean, with the Ben, it was, I want to say we went with you to Smokeless Jay's, what was it, the 4th of July party?
Yeah, it was their vape out.
Yeah.
Where they block off the street. And there was a couple people there. James Jarvis was there.
Yeah, first time meeting Jarvis.
Bill Godshaw was there. It was a good time. Unfortunately, Bill Godshaw and James Jarvis didn't get along too well, but that's whatever.
That happens.
But it was a really good time. We raised a lot of money for advocacy that day. And yeah, but you got introduced to
everybody. I mean, and we had the samples of the liquid then too, of Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben was not correct. Ben was good, but Ben was not correct at all.
Right.
So, and it took just a couple different renditions for that version of Ben. And unfortunately, like Will knows, because Will dealt with them also, we were with a really, really crappy co-packer at first. Dynamic.
I wasn't going to mention their names, but I mean, yeah, screw those guys.
Well, they're shut down now.
Yeah, I know.
Except for their CBD labs, and they renamed themselves something different, and they moved to a different building in the industrial park that they were at before.
They'll get theirs one day. They'll get theirs.
Exactly.
Karma's a bitch.
See you, failure, after lunch. We'll watch you later on. But when we switched over to liquid filling, they are some of the nicest and easiest to work with people in the world.
And to Eric, thanks so much to Eric for introducing us to liquid filling. Eric, of course, Vinyl and Vapor. For those of you who don't know,
That's an amazing juice line,
It
liquid
is.
line,
He's just an amazing person.
right?
Just an
And those
amazing
fucking
person.
guns he has. Holy crap.
Oh my God. I don't know how he goes to every convention sleeveless and doesn't charge people for that gun show. Because it's just bow, it's there. Bow, bow.
Flip your hair.
It's like, God damn.
You gotta flip your hair.
Ugh.
But yeah, so Eric introducing us saved rescued. Honestly.
Yeah. It saved Clockwork too, and all. It was the birth of bottled violence.
Yeah.
Because
Same
in
as
all honesty, I was even the whole bottled violence thing. I was just going to have a shirt design, and the whole idea behind it was from, of course, Minor Threat. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge punk rock and that whole thing and everything. If you didn't realize that yet, wink, wink. Awesome nuggets. But
he likes
anyways,
everything hard, trust me.
oh, baby. Oh. I got sidetracked. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the bottle of violence. I was just going to have a shirt design because they had a song called Bottle of Violence, and they had a picture of a bottle wearing a leather jacket holding a beer bottle. And I wanted to do a chubby gorilla bottle wearing a leather jacket holding a mech mod, Bottle of Violence. And next thing I know, we're going to Philly because I was just going to ride shotgun with him for the fuck of it, just to go to Philly. It's
And
Philly.
that trip was horrible.
Oh, it was horrible, but it was epic.
I've never been pulled over so many times before in one trip. Just going somewhere within like a 100-mile stretch.
When we got pulled over the first time when we went onto the turnpike, when he walked up to my side, he scared the ever living shit out of me. And then he went back with my ID, and I just look over at you. I'm just like, dude, I haven't been in PA for like 15 years or something like that. And I used to do some fucking pretty rad shit up here back in the day. I don't know if I have any warrants. Luckily, no warrants. That's all good. So
Right. And just as a heads up for everybody, we got pulled over, and I wasn't actually doing anything wrong at all. It's the fact that I had a paper plate on Kelly's new car. I just got her. And
yeah,
every state trooper that pulled us over kept making us change the location of where the last one put it at, or told us to put it
the
at.
second ones that pulled us over though,
Were
we told
fakes.
them about the first one.
Oh, yeah, the first ones were the fakes.
Yeah, and they were just like, okay, nobody has a gray colored car. We're just like, he did.
Right?
And he was like, yeah, we always ride too. And this guy was by himself, the
Yeah.
first guy. It's like, what the fuck, man? Then you lost your knife somewhere on the fucking turnpike. You left it on the back of the fucking trunk.
I lost another one. And, like, I evidently had left it over at the kid's house. So I went over there, I'm working underneath Jason's truck. And he comes out to me. He's like, as I told him to grab my knife, I didn't realize it was on my hip. And he's like, okay. Comes out, and he's like, here you go. And he hands me my knife. I was like, I pull out mine on my hip. I was like, I got my other knife back. But yeah, it's amazing how relationships can bloom and how just short little easy trips seem to turn into either a complete clusterfuck that's hilarious, or just you look at each other and you're like, the fuck. I mean, first time I walked into your vape shop, told me to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I did. I most certainly did because I had so many people that came in that day. It was right when I first opened up, and people kept coming in asking to buy tobacco. And I would keep telling them, like, no, but we do vapor. If you're looking to switch over, we can help you get switched. They're just like, nope, I want tobacco and turn around and leave. And then you walked in and asked for fucking hookah tobacco. And I said, we don't fucking sell hookah tobacco. Get the fuck out.
Yep.
Heated, pissed, because I was just so fucking over so many people asking for fucking tobacco.
I swore and I would never step foot back in your fucking shop again. I was like, it's a piece of shit anyway. Came back and Kelly's like, what's wrong? I was like, fucking vape shop in Wintersville. They're a bunch of assholes. Fuck that place.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
And
people say we got an attitude, and we do.
but
It's
see,
that PMA.
Kelly had a sex change evidently.
I did. Oh, I tucked it. I even shaved right here for today.
You did. Your unibrow's gone.
I did. Oh, look. Can you see it's gone? Oh, look.
It's still a little stubbly
It's,
now.
it's fresh shaved. Oh, oh, so luscious. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, and now look at us.
right?
And I never ever would have thought something like this would happen.
No, me neither.
Now, back to your shop. Did you ever think that the shop in general would pick up as much as it has?
Say it again.
Did you ever think that your shop would pick up as much as it has?
When when I first opened Steel Valley Vapors, I I didn't do any advertising, like at all. I just straight word of mouth. That's how I ran it. And it absolutely exploded over 2 years into a monster.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought that the shop would be as successful as it is, but it's not my success story though. The success belongs to all the people who come in who quit smoking. Those people, they're the ones who have the success.
Yeah.
I'm just there, just I'm just a guy that's here to help kick big tobacco's ass and help people find a better alternative.
Yeah. Good phrasing. But like with us, we would go to Walmart and we'd see a customer and or they would come up to us and they would see us and we wouldn't see them and they'd be like, I'm so sorry we haven't been in such a long time. And it's like, you're good. Everything okay? And he's like, they'll be like, we actually stopped vaping. I was like, well, you didn't go back to smoking, did you? And they're like, no. I was like, well, I mean, people don't get it. That's
That's
vaping. The vaping
PMA. That's
industry
what
has
we're
a
doing.
really, really shitty business plan because your goal is to literally lose your customers eventually.
It's the worst business plan ever in the history of business plans. Ever.
Yeah.
It's the worst. But that's what makes it so goddamn great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's like you said, I have people that have come in that are like, look, unfortunately, you're not going to see me anymore, and you're going to be mad. I was like, well, why am I going to be mad? What's going on? Can I help? And they're just like, well, I'm quitting vaping. It's like, well, are you going back to cigarettes? And they're just like, well, no, I'm just done. I'm quitting vaping. I was like, dude, high five, bow, right there. That's what it's about. And he's like, you're not mad at me? I'm just like, no, that's what I wanted to help you do
Yeah.
is to quit. It's like, if you want to come in here just to chop it, to bullshit, please still come in, please. Because, I mean, we have made a friendship. We've made this connection over this time that you were coming here.
Yeah.
And I still want to see them. There's this one old lady when I first opened up. Her name is Edna, and she is in her 70s. And all she would vape was 24. And she was coming to me for probably about a year and a half. And then I'd say like the last 3 months, she couldn't get out. So I would literally go ahead and being that I knew who she was, I would put my card, my ID through, ring it out, pay for it, deliver it to her house for her because she was incapable of coming out to the shop. And finally, she quit and she called me probably about like 6 months ago. out of the blue. And I talked to her for about a half hour, and she apologized for not vaping anymore. I was like, why are you apologizing for not vaping? Like, you wanted to get away from the tobacco and the nicotine, didn't you? She's like, yeah. I was like, I helped you do that, didn't I? And she's like, well, yeah, you did. I was like, then you have nothing to apologize to me about. I feel just joy in knowing that I helped somebody get off of the nicotine and the combustibles and the fucking nasty fucking shit that they put out there. That's that's my goal. That's what I'm here for. I don't care about the money. I If any vape shop out there that says they're in it for the money, they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the community. I'm in it to save lives. I'm in it so a grandmother can watch her child graduate from high school. That right there is what I'm in it for.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I get a little passionate about it.
You're supposed to, though. That's the thing.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
there's a difference between owning a company and actually really owning it. There's a lot of people that will own it, and you won't see the owners in the shop. They might be in there once or twice a week to pick up the money to do deposits or whatever, or to pick up their paycheck. But that's the nice thing about Steel. Will's in there every single day, except for Saturdays when he says he's going to be in there, but he still doesn't show up.
well, I gotta have one day for my son,
And that's understandable.
but
I still gotta give you
Monday
shit
through
though.
Friday, I'm there every day.
Yeah.
I'll be at that door. Welcome to Steel Valley. I love you. Because I did.
And that is literally what he says when he greets you at the door. And sometimes when he answers the phone.
Mhm.
But I mean that's what makes you a good owner. That's what makes people actually want to come back. Like, and there's so many customers that love to try and start shit with shops, just
There
thinking
are.
that they're gonna get a discount at one. Well, hey, because like we have all the time people coming in and saying, "Did you know what Steele said about you today, Nick?" And I'd be like, "What'd they say?" They're like, "Well, they'd make comments about your weight, or they'd make comments about how you look," and it's like, yeah, they're all such assholes over there. And let me give Will a call real fast and say hi to my buddy. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, I mean, with the last 3 months, 4 months of my shop, we literally had coffee every single morning together, just video chatting, kind of like this.
Every morning. Every morning.
Yeah, and sometimes I saw parts of you I wish I hadn't.
I know. Little tweak there.
Mainly you sitting on the toilet.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's they'll try to start the shit, and for a little bit, I believed it. Like for the first couple months that we were open, I kind of believed it because I knew Will was not upset with me, but frustrated that I didn't come to him and tell him that I was launching my shop first before somebody else went to him and told him about it because I didn't confide in him. And I was never mad at him for being that way with me. I get it completely.
Right.
And it's just one of those things like where I was like, "Oh, maybe he is, and then I'm talking to some friends and mutual friends, and he's like, "Dude, Will's not mad at you. Will's happy for you." And so started talking a little bit more, and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "I would never say that." It's like some of the shit people were saying, they love drama,
They do.
but that's the thing. It's one of those you have to figure out what's real and what's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, a question for you about vaping. When people want to come off of smoking, now I have my methods and you have your methods. Like when that guy came in, like we had two different opinions about where they should be. When somebody wants to get off of smoking, what is the part where you would recommend them moving to a Salt Nick versus not moving to Salt Nick? Like always try and stray away from people moving to salts.
I don't like salts. I really don't like salts at all because it's just, dude. Okay, before you even did your line, when Salt Nick was the big rage and everything before, I'd say it was probably like, I don't know, beginning of the year maybe when I was really into carrying salts because I was like a year in, come the beginning of last year or the beginning of this year, whatever. And I just hated how salt was it's all over the fucking board, man. It's 50 or 35 or 45 and 25 or 50, 35, 25. It's like, motherfuckers, make up your goddamn minds. Whenever, before salts, all we had was 24 was extreme cases. Those were the people who smoked like 2.5 and up, and 18, 12, 6. Back in my day, we didn't even have three. Three came out probably about like a year after I started vaping.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it just went from 12 to 6 to 0.
That's
And
horrible.
then they brought in three because of RDAs. Six was, you could use six on RDA, but it's a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
So they made threes because of RDAs.
So
And that
what?
they transfer down to 0 even easier then.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't realize is when you vape a nicotine off of an RDA, you're almost doubling the actual nicotine level.
Yeah, yeah, almost
And
because
that's
of the
something
production.
that even when I first started vaping on an RDA, I didn't actually know that at all.
Mhm.
And that's something that I love informing the customers of. And they're like, well, why is that? And it's like, because of the fact of just the builds and the coils.
Yeah, because it's so low, there's so much production coming off those coils. It's just like it just doubles pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why a six feels so intense.
See, like for me, whenever a customer would come into my shop, and even when they come into your shop, if they're a pack and a half, I always
Hmm.
put them at a 3. If they're at a 2, I'll put them at a 6.
Yeah, that's usually what I run to. If there are two packs of cigarettes, then six. If it's over two, then you want to start looking into the salt pack. Like if
Yeah.
they're saying 2.5 to 3, then the salt pack because that six, it just ain't going to cut it for them, man. I mean, they're going to get that production, but the thing that they're looking for whenever they're smoking that 2.5 to 3 packs, they're looking for that right there. They're looking for that throat hit because they're smoking so much, their throat goes so raw that every time they hit it, that smoke comes back. It's like, bow, it's right in the back of their throat.
Yeah.
And they feel it and they know it. And a salt nick can recreate that, but I hated how it was. And I don't know if you overheard me bitching about it all the time, but when you did your salt nick line, you did it right. 24, 18, 12. That way, people, when they come down off the 12, they can step down to that six and they can slowly work their way down to the 0 and finally just toss that to the side and be done.
Now, how do you how do you explain the Salt Nick to somebody who's new when it comes to comparing it to Freebase? Or I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, we had Taylor on the last episode, and when we were talking to her, Freebase is gone. You're not supposed to use that anymore because it's too much related to drug usage. It's now traditional
Oh,
nicotine.
yeah. Okay. Traditional. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So, would you say that Salt Nick is double what traditional is, or
Salt Nick is definitely more potent than traditional is because it's more naturally derived from whatever plant it is derived from at
yeah,
that point in time because we all know that nicotine comes from more than just a tobacco plant at this point in time. But it's a more natural process to get it, so it's going to be a little bit more of a pure, a lot less of a pH balance. as to where the natural tobacco, the natural nicotine that we use in like everything from like a 6.3 and 0 is more of a chemical base that they go through to derive the nicotine from the plant.
Yeah. But would you say so if somebody wants to jump from a 35, because let's face it, a lot of people don't like doing the 12 and 18 salts. We're trying to push them to start using them so we can work them down, but a lot of people like the 35s and the 50s.
In all honesty, they're probably going to have to get used to it anyways, because if they don't ban flavors, they're definitely going to be putting a cap on the nicotine, which
Yeah, and
they
that's
need to put a cap on the nicotine because it's too goddamn Wild West. 50 milligrams is insanely too much nicotine for anybody. Insanely too much.
flip it. You got to. It's kind of like at a wedding, when they ding the glasses. Hey, Franklin asked for you to flip your hair, so you got to flip it.
Oh, 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 it's so luscious. Oh.
But and that's a good point. The word on the vine about the nicotine cap is that it'd be a 24 or a 2.4, depending on however you want to look at it, guys.
That's how it should be. It shouldn't be no higher than that. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. I mean, we were getting people off of cigarettes with our whole scheme of 12, or I'm sorry, 24 through 0 for Jesus Christ, at least a good 4 or 5 years, something like that, before Salt Nick even came in when I
Yeah.
started vaping.
And what a
Because I
lot of
mean,
people.
Salt Nick didn't even make a real big appearance in my shop until like I want to say,
2 years ago.
yeah, the end of my second year, starting my third.
Yeah, I remember it, and it wasn't even a real big appearance. You only had very few.
Yeah, very few, and it exploded because everybody that was younger wanted it, and we had a large 18 through 20 crowd that came in at that point in time.
And what really made it worse was those damn disposables.
Oh, those damn disposables. When when like the disposables came out like Stigs, I thought it was fantastic because for people who smoke a lot and they want to start vaping, it's a fantastic way to introduce them to vaping without going and making that initial purchase to see if it was for them or not. Because people who smoked a lot, Cubano Stig, oh, get out of here. That Cubano flavor is just fucking magnifique. Oh my God. And it was, the Stig was a 60 milligram salt nick, but it was so smooth that you didn't even know. Like I could use it and I can't do salt nick. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Did you read James's comment? He has to go change his pants. He'll be right back.
Oh, oh you got to change your, hold on. Oh, oh,
You're gonna make him go dry. You better stop.
hold on. Hold on. Let me tie it up here.
Oh Lord.
Oh, oh, we're getting sexy now. We're getting sexy. We're getting sexy. Oh, look, it's all tied up right there. Oh,
But
oh.
one of the things I think I've told you, I don't remember. So whenever Rescue does something, Will is pretty much the main home shop. We have other shops locally that carry it that are considered home shops, but with Will, with me being there and everything like that, Will is considered the main home shop. So you can go into Steel and get a bottle of Rescue for a real good price. But whenever it comes to ideas, I bounce them over with Kelly. Kelly bounces them over with me, and then we'll be thinking about it, and I'll just go to him. I'll be like, hey, so what do you think of this? And he'll be like, well, that's a fucking retarded idea. Or, okay, I can get behind that. And half the time when he says, that's a fucking retarded idea, we still go forward with it. We're hard-headed.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if I've told you this, but once the salts are gone out of inventory, we're not doing salts anymore. We're going to high nick. And we're going to do just a 12 and an 18. We're not going to do the 24. So with that, our goal is to, like Will said, salts are kind of the unnecessary evil right now. And you can come off of vaping by using freebase. So we want to try and transition more people over to the freebase or traditional Nick. Sorry.
Yeah, because
Um,
there's no need for that salt mix shit, man. There isn't. I mean,
there is, and I mean, and the whole reason we did ours was literally to do the step down process for the people. Because, like you said,
mhm.
nobody does anything lower than a 24 normally.
Right.
And that's why we did the 24, 18, and 12. So that way you can transition straight over to 6 if you want to.
Yeah, it makes it way easier because that step down from 25 or 35, whichever they set it up as,
It's
come
hard.
on, you want to strangle a
Yeah.
motherfucker that day that you step down. The day that I stepped down from 24 to 18, I used to deliver pizza. Okay, so I delivered pizza for like a good 10 years at Domino's Pizza. And I'm not a fan of Christmas. At least I wasn't a fan of Christmas. I mean, I'm pretty good about it now. But I never really was a fan of Christmas. That was a real bad time for me back in the day. But I was closing at Domino's and I was stepping down from 24 to 18. And I was up front doing everything. And the manager kept sending people up front to try to help me. And I would look at them and they'd just be like, what do you want me to do? I'd be like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your fucking ass in the back. You're not going to touch a fucking thing up here because I'm not going to have to do your fucking work again. Get the fuck in the back, or I swear to God, I'll slap the fucking taste out your goddamn mouth right fucking now. They went in the back.
Yeah.
The next day, oh, so many apologies. So many apologies. Because my body adjusted. And Christmas, it brought it out of me back then. Oh, it brought me. Oh, it was bad. It was real bad.
Well, so
But
speaking of adjustment, how how long do you think it normally takes somebody to be able to adjust from a step down?
it depends. It depends. Sometimes it could be a day. Sometimes it could be a couple of days. Sometimes it could be a week. You got to stick with it though. You just got to stick with it. Yeah, you're going to vape a little bit more, but your body, it's getting used to getting what you're giving it.
Yeah.
And it takes a little while for that to make that adjustment.
It's true, and it does.
It does. It's not an easy thing to do overnight. Some people can do it, some people can't.
What's up, Juice? Do it.
Oh, Brian's in the house.
I don't know.
Cleveland
Is this Brian
sucks.
or is this his partner?
I don't know, but Cleveland still sucks.
Why you gotta start shit? Merry Christmas, bud.
Hey, I'm just a steel town guy on a Christmas night looking for the fight of his life. Feeling luscious as fuck.
You're just sexy as fuck. That's all it is.
Oh, oh,
I'm gonna have to
sexy.
borrow that wig and have Kelly put it on.
This is my hair. What are you talking about? This isn't a wig. This is my hair. This is my hair. So luscious. So luscious. But
Yeah.
I think we've gone a little extended.
Yeah, but that's kind of the cool
But
thing because there's no time limit.
oh, yeah, there's no time limit. There's no regulate. You can't stop us. We can't be stopped. Can't stop, won't stop.
So with
We're
Juice Do It
flesh
being in
bone.
here, that's actually a really good line too. He actually has
Oh yeah.
the Juice Do It line. He just partnered up with another company, and they came out with Raven.
Yes.
And Raven is the cool thing about Raven is that it's in 10 ml bottles, so people don't get tired of the flavor as fast because the fact that they can switch out and they're not wasting money. 10 ml bottles are a lot cheaper than 30 ml bottles, and they're what, Nick, are they? Are they 15?
I do believe yes.
Are they salt or are they freebase? I don't remember. Or salt or traditional?
They are traditional.
See, more and more companies are starting to move that way, and I give them all the props in the world for that. because
Yeah.
that's
It's
just
the better way. It's the
yeah,
smart way. It's the way it used to be, and we need to get back to.
exactly. Oh,
Oh,
you're good, bud. We're still on here.
oh, you're not missing anything, Shadow. We're so luscious today. We're so luscious. I'll plug you. Jeez, do it.
We're
I'll
not
plug
plugging y'all on purpose. It's just the fact that y'all are doing it right. Simple as that. Start doing it fucked up, we'll start mentioning it that way also. So, but I mean, I don't know. There's so many different things that we could talk about. There's so many different things. Exactly, Ohio Vape e-liquid or Vape Ohio e-liquids. That is an amazing place. So Ohio got hit with a ridiculous 10 cents per mil tax.
Stupid tax. Retarded tax.
So 60s go up $6, 120s go up 12, hundreds go up 10. Simple basic math. But with Vape Ohio e-liquids, the cool thing about that is it's all Ohio manufacturers, and because of that, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, from Juice, it all the Ohio manufacturers pay the tax, so that way the consumer doesn't have to.
Yes, this is true. This is true. We pay the tax for the nicotine before it goes in bulk.
Yeah. And with us doing that, you don't pay the $6 tax anymore.
No.
Bottles might go up 50 cents at most, but more than likely they usually stay around the same price.
Yeah, you don't get to see that price.
Yeah. So if y'all get a chance, go check out the site. Show some support. Show some love.
Show some love. Show some luscious love to them. And while you're showing love, hit that like button. Do it real luscious like. See, I'll flip my hair for you to hit the like button. Oh, you see that? I flipped it just for you to hit the like button. You should go hit it right now.
No, you just gotta start pounding it.
Oh, you gotta pound it. You gotta get up there. You gotta. You gotta show some love. Show that like button some love. Get in there, just like
And
like button.
on here on Rescued Reviews, we pull random people that we talk to. There's no specific orders, no reason for do it. In the vape industry, almost all manufacturers know each other, and in all honesty, we're all usually pretty tight with each other.
Yes.
Some have better relationships than others, but for the most part, we all actually really do like each other.
We're all really good people. We really are. We just, in all honesty, we just like to have fun at times.
We do.
But in the end, for me,
No,
it's all
his
about
drapes definitely do not match the curtains. It's all just fucking salt down there, and probably falling off too from age.
What?
Said your old dinosaur.
I'm too luscious for that.
But yeah, so back to what I was saying before I got distracted. We like reaching out to different people. Like we had the Nicotine Queen on. Our very first guest was an amazing person on here that helped me literally get everything set up for us to be able to do this. Franklin.
Oh, Frames. Oh, Frames. Frames is the man.
Yeah. And there's obviously, if you're signed in the very beginning of the show, you still know there's quite a few technical difficulties that we're trying to figure out.
He's not quite as luscious as I am, but Frames is the man. He's the man with the master plan.
But the goal is to, just like what they do at their show, on the Vaping with the Omi show, on the Green Room show, bring in different people, let them talk. Poon Sauce has an amazing show where people get to share their story.
Yes.
Angry Hippie and Poon Sauce have another show together, which is just as awesome. So we want, literally, the goal is to help educate people, to share advocacy, and to just let everybody know that in all reality, We're all friends. That's all the vape world is. It's the largest collection of outsiders, misfits, degenerates that you'd ever find that are actually the nicest people in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Will walked my wife down the aisle. I had Bubba from Vape Radio do the whole ceremony. I mean, the guys from Prohibition were Kelly's bridesmaids. It's an amazing industry, and we get shit on so much.
Yeah, we do. We're all total misfits and everything. And we get shit on a lot. A lot of people don't realize we're heroes. We're not your typical heroes. We're anti-heroes. That's why I got it, bam, right there on the knuckles. Anti-hero. Because I'm not your normal hero.
Yeah.
You look at me, when people first walk into the shop and they look at me and they see my luscious ass, like 9 times out of 10, like to look at me, like to see all my tattoos and everything, I'm a big dude. And a lot of people can be intimidated by that. And then to sit down and talk to me and just to see that I'm just a regular guy and a straight fucking shooter.
Yeah.
Like I don't pull no strings, I don't pull no punches, no bullshit. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear.
There were so many times that I used to go in there that he would try and talk me out from buying a new tank.
Oh my God, so many times. So many people have come into my shop and tried to buy things that they didn't need that I talked them out of. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I get more respect and love from people because of that. Because they realize that, well, he's not here to take my money. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not here to take their money. I mean, I live modest. I don't go above and beyond anything. I keep things simple. And I just reinvest everything back into my shop. That way I can give more back to the community.
Yeah. And I when I was saying earlier about us running late, I completely forgot that failure to launch started about 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to jump off of here and we are going to say goodnight so that way we can go watch those guys. Because those are some amazing people on there also. As a whole team.
As luscious as I am.
And I'll actually be over. I'll go over to your house and we'll watch it together.
Oh my God!
See, that's what you get for flipping your hair too much.
Oh!
So.
Oh my God!
With love from Rescued and with all the love from Steel, we'd like to say goodnight and hope everybody had a wonderful and Merry Christmas. Next week, we will be on the normal time at 8 o'clock. And we'll have a different guest for you. And it'll be a surprise. So, good night and sleep tight and Merry Christmas, guys.
Now, bitches. Have a good one.